Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the video. Okay, first things first, I'm sure you'll notice there was no little intro mini video for the whole build, and that's because the build is not complete. So this is part one. It will be part one of two, and that will go up. Part two will go up next Friday. And I'm sorry, guys. So many things went wrong. In fact, this is like my fifth voiceover attempt. Everything just, is a nightmare. Anyway, so I'll get into more of that once the video starts actually going. But for now, let me just give you a little insight to exactly what is going on and what's about to happen. So, I'm sure anybody who keeps up with The Sims or anybody in the Sims community knows that we had a new pack drop, the My Wedding Stories pack, which, let me not get started on that. So I was really super excited about the pack and excited about weddings, so I decided to make a wedding venue. Unfortunately, while working on this build, it came out just how broken the early access was. So I was keeping my fingers crossed for the official release, and of course the game officially releases, and guess what, guys? It's broken. So I haven't bought the pack. I thought, ooh, I'll just make a wedding venue for like people who don't have the pack. Well, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the wedding venues don't work if you don't have the My Stories or My Wedding Stories pack. You can't choose to make this your wedding venue. And, that's a big flaw because that did come with the update. That didn't just come with the pack because I have wedding venue options and I don't have the pack. Though, at first, I don't have the choices of that. You're going to see me in a few going through the entire list and not having wedding venues under there. Which turns out that I had the basemental venue list hidden somewhere in, I think, my Wicked Whims folder. So, if you guys have that problem where you have updated your game and you still do not see the wedding venues pack, you probably have a venue list file somewhere in your system that's now outdated. So just remove that and you should see wedding venues. I hope that helps. But anyway, because wedding venues are completely broken in, this version, because I don't have the pack, the build would be pretty useless. So I decide that I hate myself. Of course I'm kidding, but I decided that I wanted to finish killing myself. I was already so uninspired to do this build after it came out that the pack just was broken. So I already have this church that I can't use. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I postponed the build. I postponed it for over a week, hoping that they were going to put out a patch to fix the game. And it hasn't happened yet. But they have released tweets that 2 game updates are coming. And they're going to address some of the bugs and issues and hopefully make the game usable. Hopefully make weddings a possibility again. But I don't know. I'm not holding my breath with how things have gone so far. But yeah, I had this, and on this little small lot right here, this is where I was so inspired, I was so excited, I was so everything for the new pack. And then I get the news that you can't do anything with it. So I stop what I'm doing and I eventually, once I come back to the build, which like I said, I lost all inspiration, I lost all drive, I lost all everything to do this build. So once I finally am like, well, look, the clock is running. I have to put something out. I do eventually push through, and what I end up doing is I'm going to move this church. Right now I'm on a 20 by 15 lot beside the Pancakes house, as you can see right there. But eventually I'm going to move it to the 50 by 50 lot, which is where the Willow Creek Park sits. So that's why I say that, I decided to kill myself, or I decided I hated myself. This build is trying to kill me, though. I'm not going to lie. This entire everything is just, nothing's working. Yeah, here I am going through the packs, or the venues, and no wedding venue. Which, at that point, I just thought was how broken the game pack was. But no, it was mods, of course. Isn't everything mods? No. The My Wedding Stories is not mods. Buy a $20 game and can't play it. Yep. And that's just the United States. I don't know what it is in other countries. But anyway, I've already moved to the 50 by 50 lot, and this is where I decided, yep, let's make this a functional build. Which in turn is why everything is just wrong. Okay, so on the 50 by 50 lot, I decided once I moved the church over, which eventually I'm going to move the placement because I don't like it being in the middle of the back. So what I'm going to do is in one corner, I'm going to have the church. In another corner, it's going to be a graveyard. And then in the other two corners, I'm going to have like a grill and chill area and a playground in the other. So you're not going to see the grill and chill area in this build, and you're not going to see me actually put the finishing touches on anything. I get the church base set up, and I pretty much finish the playground minus some clutter and final touches. But I don't usually show that on video anyway, because it's just me jumping back and forth or spending way too much time just browsing the catalog. Really boring stuff. Anyway, I almost went with the gay pride version of this wedding arch because it is so gorgeous. I don't know if we had it before. I don't think we did. But it is so gorgeous. Because this is a church, I didn't know how about that. So I went with one of the more basic versions. Not to mention, I figure you can customize this for whatever wedding you want. If you wanted, this to be more pride oriented, feel free to just switch the swatch, which it is gorgeous. Anyway, back to the whole build at hand. So let's discuss issues. So I've already stated that I lost all inspiration for this build and had to pull my hair to make myself actually come over here and build. But on top of that, I decided to take on a much bigger video, or a much bigger lot, which in turn was going to be a much bigger video in very limited time. So I post speed builds on Fridays, or at least that's how it is right now. I didn't get back into this build, so I moved it to a 50 by 50 lot on Wednesday. So I didn't have much time to do this. Then add into play that my game kept messing up because of mods that were breaking my game. So I've been through several times and replaced mods or completely removed them. Then add on just life. I've also had recording issues. So in the middle of trying to work on this, my recording software decided, oh, guess what? We're going to put a watermark on all of your footage. And I didn't even notice. So about 45 minutes maybe, I don't know, of my footage, this was before I sped it up by the way, has a watermark. So once we get to that part, which I don't even know if it's in this video, it might be in part 2, but anyway, it's going to be a watermark. I will talk about it, but anyway, come to find out, anybody that's using XSplit, if you update which it asks you every time you launch the program, hey, do you want to update? It fixes bug fixes. Ooh, that sounded awful. It does bug fixes. Whatever. That's not important. So, of course, because I'm already having all these problems, I'm like, yes, let me update this and stop, at least from that being an issue. Turns out, no matter what resolution you're filming in or what you're doing with the free version of XSplit, once you update, you always have that watermark. You have to pay in order to get rid of the watermark. So I ended up talking to someone at XSplit, and they helped me roll my version back. So I no longer have the watermark, but now every time I launch the program, it asks me if I want to update, and I have to keep reminding myself, click no. So if any of you have that problem, just know that's why. Anyway, so of course I'm over here worrying about the build and worrying about making sure you guys know why everything is like it is, and I have completely brushed over, I'm 11 minutes into this, and I have completely brushed over my different audio style for this video. So in one of my last videos, somebody commented, Hollywood Bennett, shout out to you, asking if I could record with no music in the background and with my voice closer to the microphone. So this is me trying it out. I can't promise Hollywood Bennett that I'm going to keep it, but at least I'll do this video like it. And I do actually like my audio being closer to the microphone, but I do really prefer background music, so I make no promises. We'll just have to wait and see. But it was a relief, at least, with all of the issues I was already having, to not have to find background music for this video on top of everything else. So, I recorded the footage. Like I said, found out some of my footage has a watermark on it, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So, oh well. Fix that issue for the next part. But I go into my editing software. This is the night before the video needs to be posted, which, by the way, my video is supposed to be posted in an hour as of right now. So it'll probably be late, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, last night I'm editing the footage, which, by the way, I haven't even finished the build. I gave up. I was like, I'll do 2 parts because I've already got way too much footage. So I'll do 2 parts, finish this build by next Friday. So I don't even know how this build's going to look, and it's not on the gallery yet. I apologize. If you're watching this in the future, it might be, but the day that I post this, no, it will not be on the gallery. It's not finished. So let me just take a tangent real quick because I see where we are in the video. So one of the wedding venue requirements is to have a bar. And, I get it. A lot of weddings have an open bar and stuff, but this was so weird trying to put in a church. So I tried to make it as less alcohol based as possible, thinking, it could be like an actual juice bar. Or like we just have sparkling water or something. But I struggled to pick a bar that had no alcohol stuff, like it doesn't have the on draft beer thing, and it doesn't have alcohol bottles. Then I put the china cabinets behind it that had actual plates and stuff instead of alcohol bottles. And then I just went with a little side table in between, which I think I'm going to change that out to a sink. The last time I attempted this voiceover, which, like I said, this is my 5th attempt. Boy, oh boy. I am exhausted. I need this video uploaded yesterday. And anyway, I found out in one of my past voiceovers, which you guys will not hear, that a sink would probably make a lot of sense back there. So I'll probably add one in part 2. But back to my ranting and raving about everything. So last night late last night. Everybody's asleep. I'm over here just on the computer working away. I get everything edited, all of my footage, all of my everything. I am ready to do my voiceover, which everybody's sleeping, so that would be the perfect time. Of course, I hadn't saved anything, and my editing software crashes. I lose everything, which, okay, maybe my fault. I had an update for my software. I use DaVinci Resolve, by the way, if anybody is interested. Anyway, it had an update last week. I took the time to download the 2 gigabyte update for it and just let it sit in my downloads folder. I never installed it. So after my crash last night, alright, hold up, guys. Alright, I am back. Sorry, had a toddler needing some drink. Anyway, so back to the whole issue. After everything crashed and I lost literally everything, I was like, okay, let me install that that big update that I needed. So that ended up taking maybe 20-30 minutes for me to get everything back where it was, and then I was like, no, I'm just going to bed. It's late. I will re-edit all of the footage. I'll do the voiceover. I will upload it and post it all tomorrow. So here we are tomorrow. I've had a very late start and I've once again had a bunch of issues. My editing software is not to blame. I am to blame. I cannot do a voiceover for the life of me. I keep messing up, having distractions. So I got both of my children down, like calm, ready for their naps. Like, yes, perfect. I can do my voiceover uninterrupted. Everything's going to be great. Guess what? I mess up every single voiceover attempt in the amount of time I have. So now both my boys are awake, and yeah, if I get this voiceover done and this video uploaded today, I will be shocked. So if this video gets uploaded on March 4th, I will be very shocked. But the struggle is real and I am making do, but you know, let's get back to the build and stop about me just struggling with life and everything. So this is me trying to take up as much space as possible because this build is insane. Don't get me wrong, I can do big builds. It's fine. But not builds that just about every bit of it is outside. I suck at landscaping. I suck at just coming up with cool like designs for outside stuff because I'm an inside person. I don't like spending a whole lot of time outside. If I'm outside, I'm not having a good time, more than likely. I prefer being inside. I prefer everything about that. But anyway, I really, for a park or a national park or whichever you want it to be, it can be both. And it may be able to be a wedding venue. I'm not sure because the wedding venue is broken. Even if you get to it in your menu, it shows that everything is green, like with nothing on your lot. You can have a wedding venue because like the wedding arches, the bar, the seating, the stereo, everything is 0 out of 0. But apparently if you put too many chairs, you can break it and then your lot's not active. That's what happens. I put too many dining chairs and then it stops showing up as a wedding venue. But anyway, it can be a park. It can be a national park. Here's my little playground area, and I love this playhouse right here that I'm building. I don't usually do this kind of stuff. I've seen a lot of simmers do it, so it's nothing fancy, but I was so happy with how this turned out. I don't really have door placement, though. That is the one bad thing, because I didn't want the ladder to be up against any of the walls, because I'm sure you guys know that if it's at the edge, it gets rid of your little trim or whatever, and it looks really ugly. And yeah, I didn't want to deal with that, so I didn't. So then it was very hard to place doors, but it's fine. In the end, I like it. So there is no refrigerator and no working stove on this lot. I do put a stove in this playhouse and I size it down, but I make sure that nobody can use it. And I also put a sink in here, but I also size that down and put stuff up under it because with it sized down, it would be silly to see Sims try to wash their hands because I'm sure that most of you know, even if you size down or up an item, it's still you can use it exactly like it normally was. So you see like a big sim on a little tiny toilet, and it's comical, but it is really shocking if you're trying a realistic gameplay. So I wanted to make sure that the stove and the sink were as non-functional as could be, which kind of sucks because that means that there's not much usable in this playhouse. But it's mostly for looks. Like I do have the activity table in there. I do have Blarfy, but I do get rid of the toy box if you see me put the toy box in there because the outside toy box manages to be right up under it. And we don't need two toy boxes touching one another. But yeah, I love these fish. Oh my god, love these fish. So they came with Snowy Escape. And I put them, like I had to add a wall as you just saw. And then I had to move them down with the tool mod. But oh my god, it looks like such a little cute play area for kids. Now I know realistically like them a-hole kids would show up and break everything. So it would only look cute like on day one. But because you can't do that in The Sims, I just thought that was so cool. Like I said, it's not functional. Your kids can't actually go over there and play with them, but it is super cute. So I wanted to make this pirate or sea themed. I'm sure you can kind of get the feel of that by now. But I tried adding as much of the stuff as I could. There's so much of the like sea or pirate stuff is adult alcohol themed. Of course, The Sims, I think we have a problem. There's more bars in the world than anything else, and just about everything we have has like alcohol references. All of our Sims have a drinking problem. Let's get that AA pack, okay? Anyway, so I'm trying to make this look realistic because that's not a steering wheel. I did this in the last voiceover, which like I said, you guys don't know. I still have no idea what that thing is called. Anyway, I wanted that to look realistic and not just like it was floating. So I mess around in the debug menu for a long time before I settle on just a wood plank to put back there, which isn't the best choice, but it's fine. Yeah, I wanted that to be higher, and originally I had it higher, and then I realized that it's for small children, so it would be no point for it to be way over their heads. Now, my biggest struggle in this entire build so far has actually been the lighting. No lights have made any sense. So, like, why don't we have normal lights in The Sims? Why is that a thing? We either have like super modern weird stuff like it would be in museums or something, or we have super old school like candelabras. Can we please get some normal lighting? Just please. So eventually I'm gonna turn it into like the night mode or whatever and try to place some lights down, and that's when I really struggle because like I just stated, the lighting is awful. I really wanted like the tall public light kind of pole look, but it looked so weird in the middle of this play area. So that was a thing. Anyway, you're seeing the park slowly come together, or the playgrounds slowly come together, which like I said, I complete this more than anything else. I feel like other than some finishing touches, this could actually be complete. But the church is very bare, which I may just keep bare because a lot of churches, that's how they are. Like when you have your wedding somewhere, you kind of want to bring your own decorations. So I really wanted this to be a lot that could be used over and over again. I didn't just want this to be a wedding lot that your sim uses once and then you never visit it again. So this has the big playground. It even has that huge monstrosity toddler activity thing. This is like perfect for Sims of all ages, Sims of all like single, married, kids, all of that stuff. I got it covered. Of course, is this not baby functional because babies are objects and can't go to the park. So, sorry. But other than that, I've got stuff for toddlers, children, teens, young adults, elders. I mean, you have a sim that is an actual sim and not an object, and they can come here and actually have something to do. So, I'm looking so forward for part 2 though. This is where I decided that I wanted a stove and everything, a little cute kid, like playing house area. I feel like The Sims is so missing out on that. Where is our Generations pack? We need stuff like that. That is what children do. They play house. How are we this far in The Sims and only have doll houses? Anyway. I'm not gonna rant about that. So, I make my little own playhouse area, and even underneath the little playhouse, I put a table and chairs. So, that would be kind of where you would eat your meals after you prepare them, which is total make-believe. Your Sims can't actually do that, but for storytelling purposes, have that. I also put a little tea set in there, which the tea set came from Cottage Living. And I think it would be really cute if you were going to actually play on this lot or play with this stuff, if you wanted to move that downstairs to the table and chairs. That would be really cute for like a little tea time. I opted to keep it up here just for like storage area or whatever. Not to mention that actually makes the table downstairs usable. Whereas I think that tea set is big enough that if you put it down there, you can't use the table. I could be wrong. But, yeah. Now this is pretty much it. I'm going to do a whole bunch of more, like, finagling and adding items and moving items. But, yeah, I'm really excited for part 2. I hope you guys are excited for part 2, especially my little grill and chill area. I wanted a place more for adults and more for like hangout. So I have the grill areas that's got multiple grills and a whole bunch of picnic tables and stuff. But then I have a sunken area which has the like fireplaces and a nice cozy seating area. I've got multiple of those. I got 3 of them. So you could have multiple, get-togethers at one time and have them separated by curtains. I mean, you'd still be able to hear stuff, but it's a little more secluded. It is outside after all, so I didn't put a roof on anything. I thought about using the boho pack. I don't even know the name of that pack. It's the movie pack. But I thought about using the outside TV for that, in that area, because I thought that would be really cool with, like, the whole chill thing, to have a TV. But I'm sure all of you know by now, but that The Sims Seasons pack completely broke the outside TVs. They break in the rain. Just, how have they not fixed that? And the outside stereos, how have they not fixed that? I had to put the one stereo that we have in the wedding area actually in there, in the little roofed area outside, because you can't have stereos outside, which I think is silly. Let's be clear, you would have your stereo outside during a wedding and not in there where everybody's eating. You wouldn't be able to hear like normal talking, you wouldn't be able to hear toasts. And once you're dancing, all the tables are there. You can't dance around the tables. But rant for another day. This was just a bad time to decide to do a voiceover, but I really needed to get this video out. And hopefully I will have time to upload it before my normal posting time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But It may be a little late, but I should be able to get it posted today. Fingers crossed this recording is okay and I can actually record, use it, finish this video and finally get it uploaded. So yeah, here I am finally in night mode, or whatever you want to call it, trying to find lights to put around. I don't really like the idea of having candles in the playground area. I think that would be very dangerous, but I know that you only need the citronella candles if you're in the outdoor retreat stuff, but I really love the idea of any playground or just outside area having those. I swear I put them in just about every build that I do. The candles are no doubt one of my favorite items in The Sims. Anyway, the end of the video is coming up and there will be no final screenshots as the build is not completed, so please stick around next week for part 2. Anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like me or what I'm doing, subscribe. If you want to be notified in the next video, hit the notification bell. And like always, I hope you liked this and see you next time. Bye.